My name is Bhavya, and I am the CEO of zipBoard. We are here today to talk about streamlining your document review and approval workflows. We all work on documents all the time, whether it's your marketing, collaterals, or the blueprints and drawings and whatnot. Depending on what work you do, day in, day out, teams are circulating through documents every day, and we want to make sure that those that circulation and that review is optimized and streamlined with zipBoard. And essentially, of course, your entire turnaround time for each of those documents is faster. Quick walkthrough of the agenda today. I'm just going to turn off my video first so that this is out of the way. Oops, didn't I do it right? Okay. Yeah, so we'll quickly talk about the challenges stakeholders face during document reviews and approvals, and then move through how to securely improve your document review and approval workflow. Then we will discuss how you can do a contextual collaboration in documents so that you're really, for long, big documents, where exactly you're talking about. Everybody can collaborate easily, and then how you can integrate document reviews in your workflow, in an existing workflow, in your existing systems and tools. So a quick look at the statistics and the state of document reviews and management today. This is a quick research that I've done, and of course, some of these numbers are outdated. I would love to see if things have changed post-COVID. But 65% staff experience challenges when checking and approving office documents, and it's a constant case of frustration, right? 83% workers struggle with version issues daily, and 92% of employees review and collaborate on documents via email. I can vouch for that. I've talked to so many people. Possibly this has moved somewhat to Teams and Slack, but it still happens on email quite a bit. And then companies still spend on an average of $20 to file and store paper documents. So looking at these numbers, it is appalling to see that we are still quite behind in terms of document management and collaboration, right? And we all know that document collaboration runs across enterprise functions, whether you're building marketing collaterals, building, or a company that is dedicated towards, building marketing assets, whether you're a sales company working on proposals, an HR team working on internal documents, working on the learning initiatives, and then legal teams working on contract documents day in, day out, engineering teams working on blueprints. We are constantly circulating documents internally and both with clients and partners. And of course, some of the larger challenges happen when we are actually, even if a lot of the teams have solved the challenges for internal collaboration, the clients and partners bit is something that we are still struggling with, right? So that's really why should we centralize all reviews on zipBoard? Really, the essence of bringing things on zipBoard is to get everything in one secure store. We want, and this is how we have helped companies get their document management in one place, whether they're working on videos, whether they're working on actual PDF documents or images. They shouldn't have to struggle with finding the right version, finding the right person to share with, how do they share it with. So either you can use our own management system or sync your existing server or document management system with our store. That makes it one secure place to have all your documents. Second, of course, it gives you an opportunity to create efficient and automated workflows. If your workflows are integrated, if your document review and your ERP is all connected, and then your issue tracking, and then your project management, you can actually flow from one app to another easily, and your communication is not broken. And third is contextual collaboration. In this day and age, obviously, given that we are all remote, we want more context, all the more, right? We cannot point fingers and say, okay, this is where I'm talking about. There are very specific places where you want to give feedback, and having to explain it outside of the document becomes quite a pain. So getting that contextual collaboration right in the document makes it easy as well to give quicker reviews. Uh, Quite honestly, the whole evidence of this is the fact that the chaotic processes are costing the business. We have seen it firsthand with ourselves, with my team, but I've also seen it with larger teams and companies still struggling with those processes. This is not how my desktop looks, but this is how it can end up looking like if it is a chaotic process, right? Um, it's a constant rework that you're doing. You're not able to catch mistakes early enough. You're working, if you do not even hand on the exact version that you should have your hand on, you could be redoing a lot of the work that you would be doing, leading to subsequent project delays. So, you would not end up starting or completing in time. Payment delays, of course, especially in case of agencies which are very dependent on deliverables, documents as deliverables, or any subsequent deliverables that are dependent on those documents. For example, construction, even in marketing teams, even if you're building even for a sales collateral. So you want to make sure that you get paid on time. And disconnected information, like, not everybody having the same truth, the same source of which document to access, where to access, and what is the relevant information in that document, and what are the comments and thoughts of other people who are involved. So all of that, if that is disconnected, a lot of time, first of all, goes in just finding that information, and then it just creates um, a lot of alignment issues as well, right? How does zipBoard really help? zipBoard creates an integrated workflow for document reviews. So, like I said, it gives you tools to provide contextual feedback. You can literally mark up using a pencil and start giving notes, leaving notes right from your browser in real time. So if you have sent a note, the other people who are involved, and they do not necessarily have to be in your team, they do not have to be part of your company as well, and they can see your notes, right? There is also this whole friction caused by system switching. If you are manually having to download from one place, upload the document to another place, then mark up for review, then get the feedback and comments in another spreadsheet, it becomes quite cumbersome. What we do is we eliminate all that friction. We eliminate also all that manual task required to go from one system to another, and that saves a lot of time. That saves a lot of errors as well, and a lot of pain, right? And then enabling the reviewers. The fact that reviewers can go on a browser and review, get done, use the multiple tools, use a pencil, use this rectangle, say what they want to highlight, add a comment, add a quick note, and then get out, gives them enables them for faster reviews. They're not thinking, hey, you know what, I'm going to go sit down, make a list, and all that. They can do it all in one document while they're viewing that document, whatever that relevant information is in that document. It also eliminates segments and centralizes your workspace. And this specifically is very important because I think even if we have removed, or we've tried to remove silos for internal teams, we are not working as just one body anymore, right? Like we have external partners, we have vendors, we have clients that we're working for, and we want to be able to collaborate on documents, on assets with those external stakeholders as well. And zipBoard really brings all of that together in one place rather than having to have two different systems for, internal stakeholders and external stakeholders, or for internal teams and external teams. So it makes it all centralized. And then automation and reports, which help you to identify what kind of inefficiencies that you have, in your systems. If you see often that you're seeing same kind of mistakes, your reviews go through, you're going through 5 reviews of the same document with same kind of mistakes. If you're not measuring it, if you don't have one system, you're not going to measure it. If you don't measure it, you cannot improve it. So again, the reports that we have let you measure more effectively, be able to improve your performance more effectively. And the last point, which is tied to the eliminating the segments as well, is the fact that we help and make it easy for you to share with your clients and external stakeholders. And if you don't want to share the whole dashboard, you can share with them just a quick link, which they can open in a browser, and they can start commenting and adding notes, which makes it extremely easy, which takes away again the friction for the clients, for the busy stakeholders, for SMEs, for executives to give you quick notes. What are some of the challenges for document reviewers today, uh, which we've seen and which we've tried to eliminate in our processes? The fact that the delays are, there's a significant delay between feedback and implementation. So you may get that feedback. Uh, you could have gotten that feedback in a call. You could have gotten that feedback in a spreadsheet or an email, and now you have to sit down and make notes and send it to the implementation team. They do not have access to it, and so on, right? That creates a big friction, big delay as well. And then again, a disorganized system due to disconnected systems, right? If you are again talking with multiple tools, those tools do not talk to each other, leading you to manually having to do a lot of things, leading you to have more errors. The reviewers are not enabled properly. You might have standardized a tool internally, but maybe your reviewers, your clients, your external stakeholders may not have that tool, may not have that license. So that becomes a pain, and now they're looking for ways to review, but they do not have the right tooling. Multiple segments in the review process as well. So there are, again, this internal stakeholders, external stakeholders. You want to separate conversations, but you want separate threads, but you want to also have some common threads. And if those are not well distributed, then again, it can become very difficult to have, alignment. And then unable to get macro scale visibility on issues, right? Like you do not, if you're working on multiple documents, which typically in a deliverable you will, if you're working, let's say, if you're a marketing team working on a brand identity for a particular brand, you will have multiple documents, and those multiple documents would have multiple versions. You might have multiple assets as well. And if you do not have a visibility of all of those in one place, you really cannot estimate. You cannot really say that, okay, you know what, this is how much time it will take me for me to get from one to start to state finish, right? And then again, we're working with external stakeholders. This is becoming harder and harder, right? We may have systems set up for our own um, our own collaboration, but we do not have systems enough set up in a way that they also have access, easy access. There's no training required, and everything else works out in a way that you have seamless external stakeholder collaboration, especially if you're working with multiple teams. So I'm going to talk about few ways we have helped, zipBoard has helped some of the teams that we've helped today. And in context of that, we'll show you the product as we go along as well, right? So one of our customers based in Dubai, they are the engineering office. They do construction drawing reviews and submittal reviews using zipBoard, and they benefited from using zipBoard. They were on a paper process, so literally moving documents from here to there to get their, to get approvals. And they benefited from zipBoard by streamlining the entire document review and approval workflow by integrating with their existing DMS and ERP systems. They were on SAP. They already had document management set up very well. But what they needed was that all the stakeholders do not feel like they're exiting that system. They're able to seamlessly go from that system to the board to mark up the review, mark up the documents, and not even move the documents to our server. So their documents remain secure in their servers, and they could still get the markup done, get all the feedback, and then come back to their platform. So it seemed seamless, it was integrated, and it really created a way for them to improve their overall cost, because they were not printing, first of all these blueprints. They were not moving them around. They were not waiting for one person to approve and then the second two, and so on. They could do it together. They could do it asynchronous at their own time. So overall, they saw 75% cost savings from the automation and paperless processes. So overall, the benefit that they had was one, synchronized secure document controls. So everything on their server, accessible from zipBoard for review, and then managed document versions. So even the document version management was managed by them easily. So everybody has the same version rather than having to again see an old version, not know which one to review, and so on. And one other thing that we did give them, which really helped them, was the flexible hosting options, that they could host all their documents on their own server, on the specific, on Azure, and so that everything is secure and compliant according to their policies. I'm going to jump into a quick demo of how documents can be managed in zipBoard, whether they are on our server or whether they're uploaded inside zipBoard or in a system which is already there but synced with our system. Jumping over for a quick view here. Okay. So here is a quick view of what zipBoard looks like. Everything can be divided into projects, and then in each project you can set up your documents. And obviously we are not limited to just documents. There is multiple types of content that you can upload. You can add a web page, images, videos, PDF documents, and zip files for HTMLs and all. HTML and SCORM courses. So with those multiple options, obviously, if teams are working on many different kind of assets, it can be, again, one single source to add those documents. There are multiple ways. Again, the way engineering office did it was they did not want to move their documents to our server, but they wanted to link it with ours. So they use APIs to do that every time any document is added to their project, it automatically gets added to the zipBoard project as well. But of course, you could also manually do it by either adding a document here, like, I've linked a SharePoint document here. So this is the link to the SharePoint document. Again, this could be synced as well, that as soon as something is added to SharePoint, can be added directly to zipBoard. And it really opens up that document in a browser along with all these tools for review, right? Going back to the document. So you have an option to add it as a URL so that everything stays on your server or on your system, or you can also upload it right here. And Once you've done that, of course, you can assign it to people who should review, depending on how you've set up. I'm not going to go into the details of, adding the collaborators and team members and stuff. But once you do that, you can assign it to people. You can, you can set deadlines. You could set some tags, and so that you can get reviews. So this is how simple it is to quickly add documents and then move them through your workflow as well. You can create these flexible workflows where you can add, you can really move documents from one to another. Right. Jumping back, and I'm gonna close this and then jump back here. So I'm gonna next talk about the whole concept of collaborative reviews. What we realize that is that, and I'm going to talk in context with ELM Learning, which is again one of our oldest clients who have been using zipBoard for not just document reviews, but also for video and course reviews. But the whole concept of collaborative reviews is that if you know exactly what is where, and if you have huge documents or huge long videos or other digital assets, you want to be able to quickly give feedback and see others' comments and be able to, get, use it as a whiteboard, right? So that you're not, running out with a separate sheet explaining everything, but you have everything in context. You just take your marker and then start marking up and saying, okay, this is what needs change, or this is where I feel like we need more information. So really one platform to do that, and within the document itself and in the browser itself. So for ELMs, the board accelerates client approvals. They build learning design courses for some large enterprises, and they constantly need to get approvals from their clients on those courses, starting from documents and storyboarding to all the way to videos and then courses. And in all of that, they have improved, their 75% of their client reviews are handled through zipBoard. I would still say ideally, it should be 100%. I guess there are reasons beyond their control where it cannot be. And they've seen 50% faster time to final versions from start to end for their projects, which is a huge saving for a small agency. And again, literally 5,000 hours saved by the creative team annually, which is again a huge saving. And of course, they can focus on the quality of work, the creativity, rather than the chaos of complicated process. Again, the reason why this works is for the fact that it is easy to access from anywhere and directly in the browser. So they can literally share a link with their clients, or with the internal stakeholders, or add them to the projects, and they can start reviewing quickly directly in the browser without having to install anything, right? The communication is contextual, so everything is in context to where that particular location is. Imagine having, large packaging designs, or large blueprints, and having to explain exactly where you want to explain what the issue is. Given that context, it makes it easy, it makes it quick. And then again, one place to share with external, internal stakeholders, very important for agencies, very important for larger companies working as consulting agencies, or with clients, to get that information flowing between the internal and the external stakeholders. I'm going to quickly show now how the collaborative reviews work in zipBoard. Jumping in here again. So I am going to go to this document and just launch it for review, just to show how for an internal stakeholder what that review can look like. As you say, you can open this document, which is in the browser, and there are some notes that I've already added here, so you can see them. Or you can actually go in and start adding your own notes. So for example, there are a bunch of tools to annotate and mark up. So for example, I'm going to take a rectangle and mark it up and say, and now this note will be visible to everyone who has access to this document, depending on how you've set up your access as well. And you can continue to give notes. It's as easy as, you're not, again, struggling with things. And you can use more tools, like there's a pencil, there's a highlighter, there's a text highlighter, an arrow. You can also add text directly. So, this is something new that we have just added, because we've understood that a lot of times you want to just add text, maybe fill a form. And then if you want to, you can also add this text, convert this text into a comment as well, right? You can erase something, you can add a stamp or a signature if you feel like that's part of your workflow that's required and you finally would want a signature to be added at the end of the document. You can do that. And you can hide all these and then or bring them back. So the multiple ways in which you can review, right? And every comment that is added can also be seen on the right trail here. Of course, these are all just added by me, but you can jump from one to another. So you have a quick context of, where that comment is. You can go in and reply to an existing comment as well. So it's a very collaborative way to work for you within the document. One more thing that happens is that if I come back to the project view, all of this can also be added as a list. So, you have everything in one place, and you have all the context, and you can then assign it to people internally, all the people that have been that were part of this workflow, right? So that's how the collaborative review work. I'm gonna switch over again and talk about the last strength or the pillar on which zipBoard helps teams, the integrated workflows. So I'm going to talk about GP Strategies, which is a large company working with, again, enterprises on getting their performance strategy and learning strategy in place. And their clients, again, are located all over the world, and they need to collaborate with them. And they also have their own internal development team, which was using Jira. So, they wanted to connect those systems together. And this has really helped them accelerate workflows across all stakeholders, their internal project managers, their internal client handling teams, and the external stakeholders. They all have a good handle on everything, and everything stays organized in one place and connected still. So in multiple places as well, right? So overall, the board empowers the internal teams here, in this case, the development teams, because with the improved integration with Jira and Slack and Microsoft Teams, they could bring back all the issues to their internal tools. And then it was easy to get all the context from the client reviews to their internal tools as well, so that it's seamless and nobody is manually copying things from client reviews to the internal dev team to fix those issues. What that leads to is automated workflows, right? You're not manually copying, pasting things. You're not downloading spreadsheet from one place to another and then uploading and then, finding errors or working with messy systems, which leads to accelerated and streamlined processes and your overall client and team satisfaction, right? Both your team is happy because they don't have to manually copy things and move things around, and everything works seamlessly. And your clients are happy because they can quickly give feedback. They can have a visibility on what feedback they gave, and they can go back to it easily. I'm going to go back to a quick demo for how do we do integrated workflows. So a few things that, we do to make integrations work is, of course, you can integrate with your document management system with using APIs, using our existing integrations. You can also get all these comments, each one of these comments, again, using API or like connected to, let's say, a Jira. So if this project is connected to Jira, you can literally, right now it is not, you can literally have everything synced between Jira and zipBoard or any other tool that you would want for it to work. We do have limited integrations now, but as the requests come in, we've been adding more and more integrations. But this makes the entire information synced. You have everything in one place. A few more things that we do is also that we capture some more information, which is really useful, not so much for documents, but for HTML, as to where this was added, which browser and all that, which is extremely useful for dev teams. Right, so we keep that flow of information between zipBoard and your external tools in a way that, your clients will only see this layer, your internal team, project team will see also this layer. They can see the review layer, and also they can see the project layer. And then this can all be transferred directly to your dev team, to your execution team easily, right? One more thing that we do is that we capture feedback from external stakeholders by giving them options to just share a link. So I could just give my clients a quick link with a password and an expiry date so that they can quickly give feedback and not have to see any of this, right? They will just get this link, copy it, send it to them whatever way possible, or whatever is your communication medium with them, or just send an email to them directly from here. They will get a link to review, they will add their feedback, and that feedback will be captured in a separate bucket so that your team can triage it. So, for example, this is from an external stakeholder. It's a very complicated view, but you can go to this document and see where that was. You have all the contacts, you can apply to them, and then you can add it as a task. So that's how we create completely integrated workflows. Jumping back, I mean, this is the end of my, at least, demo for all the three pillar points on which zipBoard helps streamline your document reviews. I'm going to quickly show you a sneak peek of something that we're working on, which will take it even further. Better is using generative AI to tag your comments as well. We have seen that a lot of teams like to, some of our customers already do tag manually as to, okay, we see grammar issues, we see design issues, we see consistency issues, we see errors. So what we are trying to do is, and we're almost there, is to auto tag these. And if any comment is added, and this is a very quick demo of what it could look like. If any comment is added, we parse through it, we understand automatically, and then try and tag it based on what that tag could look like. That this is clarity. This is asking for more clarity. As a result of this, you don't have to tag manually, but you can actually tag this. Our application will auto tag. Obviously, you'll have options to turn it off as well. Will auto tag that this is a style related tag. This is a clarity related issue, and you can then cumulatively see in your project which kind of issues do you see more often. And again, this is all leading to more and more understanding your processes, understanding how you can make them better. So step towards that. So in nutshell, we help you simplify your document review and approval workflow. and you can get set up in a few minutes. It's completely cloud-based, it's browser-based as well, so you do not have to download download an application to make it work, so you can work from anywhere. There are multiple annotation markup tools, and we are only adding more and more based on different use cases that we are seeing. For example, measurement tools for more engineering cases. And then it's easy to use both for internal and external stakeholders, so you don't have to use two different systems and then have to pass around or manually, copy paste things. You can quickly capture feedback. It's very easy to integrate into your current workflow, and it is built for secure and scalable access. That is a wrap from me, and we are going to share in the chat some more resources that you can use. You can sign up for a free trial as well. We have a 15-day free trial where you can sign up for a trial. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at bhavya@zipboard.co. Thank you so much.